Welcome to lecture 5 of week 2 of the SWAM course on sustainable solid waste management, challenges, opportunity, and threat. Till now, in this week, I have covered guidelines and rules associated with solid waste management, Swachh Bharat mission, the smart city program, as well as the generation of construction and demolition waste, how they are generated, and what is the need of the regulation. The content of this lecture are as followed. Now, the law and policies framed in India related to pollution. First is Swachh Bharat mission with motto of Clean India, initiated by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs in 2014 to manage waste originating from domestic and construction and demolition waste. Next, guideline on environmental management of construction and demolition waste. The Central Pollution and Control Board issued new rules that were published on 29th March 2016 by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Construction project producing more than 20 tons of C&D waste in a day or 300 tons in a month need to draft and submit the site waste management plan to the local authorities for their approval. Next, guideline for sustainable habitats. The Central Public Works Department CPWD in 2014 released a report named Guideline on Reuse of Recycled Construction and Demolition Waste. The guideline include measures and precautions for recycling of construction and demolition waste, as well as emphasize the need for these construction plans. Guidance is provided for recovering valuable product from construction and demolition waste which can be reused. Next is Municipal of Urban Development. The Urban Development Ministry issued a circular on June 28, 2012 to establish recycle centers in cities and towns with population greater than 1 million and established governance rules. The ministry plans to establish temporary storage points in every Panchayat Raj or municipalities as well. Bureau of Indian Standard. BIS is responsible for issuing specifications and code for recycled products. The update IS Indian Standard 383, which was issued in 2016, recommends a replacement of 25% in plain cement concrete, that is PCC, 20% in reinforced cement concrete, that is RCC, and 100% in lean concrete with recycled aggregate. Next, Building Material and Technology Promotion Council and Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, BMTPC issued regulation on construction and demolition waste utilization in government project. Similarly, MOHUA passed an order to utilize construction and demolition waste product if they are available within 100 kilometers radius of the construction site. Construction and demolition waste rule 2016. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change under Environment Protection Act 1986 issued principal legislation guiding construction and demolition waste management across country. It applies to every waste resulting from construction, remodeling, repair and demolition of any civic structure of individual or organization or authority. The objectives of construction and demolition waste rules 2016. The objective is to streamline C&D waste collection, segregation and disposal. Next is to promote reuse and recycling of construction material. Next, to reduce environmental health hazards arising from under-regulated dumping of this waste. Salient feature of the rules. The first is duties of waste generators, including builders, developers and individuals. Their duty is to segregate waste into concrete, soil, steel, plastic, wood and plastic, etc. To store construction and demolition waste within the premises or in a designated storage area, disposal of waste at authorized processing facilities, submit a waste management plan for large project, especially for more than 20,000 square meter. Next, duties of local authorities, that is municipalities or local corporation. Their duty is to establish collection, storage and recycling centers for construction and demolition waste, to authorize processing facilities and monitor their operation, to create C&D waste disposal policies aligned with environmental guidelines, which are issued time to time. Next is role of state pollution control boards. Their role is to ensure that facilities meet environmental standards and to grant and monitor consent to operate construction and demolition processing units. Next is implementation timeline. Cities with population of more than 1 million, the timeline is 1 year from notification, and the population between 0.5 to 1 million, the timeline is 2 years. Towns with less than 0.5 million, the timeline is 3 years. Next is recycling targets. It aims to recycle at least 50% of construction and demolition waste by 2025 and promote the use of recycled product in construction such as recycled aggregates, paving blocks, bricks and tiles. Next is incentive and provisions. Provision for public-private partnership in waste processing, tax benefit or subsidies for setting up recycling units is there. Mandating the use of recycled material in government construction projects are also necessary. The Construction and Demolition Waste Management Rule 2016. By this rule, the responsibility of waste generation is set. Waste generation producing 20 tons or more in one day or 300 tons per project in a month is termed as bulk generators. Under Rule 4, Sub-Rule 3, the segregation by bulk construction demolition waste generators shall be done into 4 streams such as concrete, soil, steel, wood, plastic, brick and mortar. Next responsibility is responsibility of service providers should ensure safe disposal of debris, coordinate with local authorities to ensure avoid unauthorized dumping, minimize waste generation, follow segregation norms, maintain record and timely waste clearance. The next responsibility is of local authority, management of construction and demolition waste generated including processing facility and for using the recycled product in the best possible manner, awareness, dissemination of knowledge, incentive for use of material made out of this waste including non-structured concrete, paving blocks, lower layers of road pavement, colony and rural road is also set. Processing and recycling facility for construction and demolition waste. A specialized center where construction debris are sorted, processed and recycled into usable materials. Products from recycled construction and demolition waste include coarse aggregate for road construction, fine aggregate for plastic and concrete, paving blocks and curb stones, precast construction blocks, recycled soil for landscaping and filling. Key provision for recycling facilities under the 2016 rules. First is authorization requirement. Respective state pollution control boards or pollution control committees must provide permission through Form 1 as specified in this rule. Second is site selection criteria away from habitation cluster, forest, water bodies, monument, national parks, wetlands, and area of cultural, historical, or religious significance along with buffer zone with no development. Next is operational guidelines. Implement measures to control environmental pollution including dust and noise. Regular monitoring and reporting of compliance with environmental standards are mandated by this rule. Product utilization, Bureau of Indian Standard and Indian Roads Congress are tasked with formulating standards for product made from construction and demolition waste to ensure quality and safety. Next is responsibility of local authorities. Local authorities manage waste processing facility either independently or through public-private partnership by collection, transportation and disposal. This chart shows the notable construction and demolition recycling plants in India. One is in Burali, New Delhi, having the capacity 2000 ton per day. It is India's first and largest recycling plant. There is one plant of 800 tons per day in Noida in public-private collaboration. The duties of Central Pollution Control Board under these rules and regulation. National authority, CPCB is a national authority ensuring that the guidelines are effectively followed across the country. It prepares detailed operation guidelines for construction and demolition waste management, coordinate with State Pollution Control Board and Pollution Control Committees in Union Territories for monitoring of compliance and authorization of waste processing, training and capacity building, encourage recycling, technologies and ecology friendly construction material, prepare annual national report programs and as well as the annual national progress report, oversee implementation of rules at the national level, work with academic institutions and private players to pilot innovative waste utilization technique, organize program on proper disposal of this waste and benefit of using recycled material. Duties of central government in construction and demolition waste processing. First, policy formation and notification of the rule. Second is coordination and supervision. Third is promote public-private participation. The fourth duty of the central government in construction and demolition waste processing is empowerment of CPCB or Central Pollution Control Board. The Central Pollution Control Board is under the statutory control of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Central government delegates authority to CPCB for developing guidelines and monitoring implementation on pollution control laws. The next fifth duty is data collection from state pollution control boards. The state pollution control board is under the state environment department. CPCB collect data from state pollution control boards and submit the compliance reports. Next is sixth one, in which for state training and capacity building, support and conduct training program, workshop and technical guidance for local authorities, pollution control boards, urban planners and builders to build capacity for construction and demolition waste processing and regulation. Next is public awareness and promotion. Launch and support awareness campaign regarding responsible construction practices, use of recycled product, environmental and health impact of illegal dumping. This slide also shows the summary of duties of other central government, like duties policy formation, in which it notifies rules, frame national strategy, promote public-private partnership, in which facilities, private investment and recycling infrastructure is there. Now the international Indian Standard 383, which was released on 2016, it is third revision, specification for coarse and fine aggregates for concrete. This guideline and specification is for use of natural and manufactured aggregate, both coarse and fine. The scope of this standard covers natural aggregates, manufactured aggregates, recycled aggregate, fine aggregates, coarse aggregate. The importance of this standard in construction: ensure uniformity and reliability in aggregate quality, helps in designing strong and durable concrete mixes, support environment-friendly practices by legitimating the use of recycled material, enhance safety and longevity of structures. Key highlight of Indian standards: first is classification of aggregates, second is grading zone for fine aggregates, next is fiscal requirement, next is use of recycled aggregate, thereby limitation on deleterious material, and then quality control. These are the key highlights of Indian Standard 383, which was released on 2016. Now the obligation and need for timeline. The obligation for waste generation is segregation of waste at source, safe disposal of waste through authorized collection agencies, payment of relevant charges as specified by urban local bodies, reuse and recycling to be prioritized wherever it is possible. Next, monitoring and review. State Pollution Control Board and Central Pollution Control Board are responsible for monitoring activities. Annual reporting on the status of implementation by state government and urban local bodies is desired. The objective of time frame is to ensure a phased and practical approach to managing construction and demolition waste, allow time for infrastructure development and stakeholder awareness. It aligns urban development with sustainable and environmentally responsible practices. This table shows the timeline for planning and implementation of construction and demolition waste management rule 2016. The timeline for planning and implementation is rule outline a specific timeline for various stakeholders, urban local bodies, state government and facility operators to ensure systematic management of this waste. The key timeline and responsibilities are within 6 months of notification, formulation of policies by urban local bodies and state government, then identification of site for setting up the disposal facilities, framing of bylaws to make it mandatory for waste generators to follow segregation and disposal norms. Next is within 12 months of the notification, State government to prepare detailed action plans for implementing these rules. Urban local bodies to establish construction demolition waste collection and disposal system, including setting of intermediate collection point and transportation logistics. Within 18 months of notification, commissioning of construction and demolition waste processing facilities in cities with population over 1 million and authorized by respective state pollution control boards. Within 2 years of notification, commissioning of construction and demolition waste processing facilities in cities with population between 0.5 to 1 million. Within 3 years of notification, all cities and towns must have suitable arrangements for collection, transportation, processing and disposal of construction and demolition waste. Central Public Work Department, CPWD, Principal Agency of Government of India for Public Sector Infrastructure Development, established in 1854, CPWD operates under Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Regional offices are across India, including Northeast, Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Ladakh. Function and responsibility of CPWD is design, construction and maintenance of government building, road and flyovers, execution of civil works for central government, ministries, public sector units and autonomous bodies. Project management consultancy for architectural and engineering services, green building initiative, adoption of sustainable construction practices. Next is implementation of large scale national projects like Swachh Bharat Mission, Smart City Mission, Amrit means Atal Mission for Innovation and Urban Transportation. Next responsibility is to special focus on energy efficient building, use of fly ash bricks, recycled aggregates, rainwater harvesting and solar installations. The initiative by CPWD was green building initiatives, mandatory Griha rating for all projects above 5,000 square meter, use of eco-friendly construction materials such as fly ash brick, recycled aggregates from construction and demolition waste, low VOC plants, incorporation of rainwater harvesting system, solar photovoltaic system, energy efficient lighting and HVAC systems. Initiative by CPWD is digitalization and e-governance, e-tendering and e-procurement system to ensure transparent bidding, Parivesh portal for environment and forest clearance of projects, WBPMS work and budget planning and monitoring system for better tracking and budgeting of ongoing projects, EMB electronic measurement books. It reduces paperwork and improves real-time documentation of projects in progress. Third is the standardization of design and construction, that is for development of pre-engineered building component, promotion of modular construction and prefabrication techniques, implementation of building information modeling for efficient design and execution. Next is infrastructure development across sectors, and thereafter the construction and demolition waste management, in which CPWD promotes the use of recycled construction material in public works. It supports the development of construction and demolition waste processing facilities in collaboration with local bodies, uses guidelines from Indian Standard 383 for using recycled aggregates in construction. National Building Construction Corporation, it is Navratna Central Public Sector Enterprises under Ministry of Housing and Affairs. Again, it was established in 1960 and listed on a stock exchange. Core idea of operation: first is project management consultancy, next is engineering, procurement and construction, then real estate development. NBCC is committed to sustainability as it promotes eco-friendly construction using fly ash and construction and demolition waste and energy efficient designs. NBCC projects are aligned with Griha and IGBC green building norms. As far as the international presence is concerned, NBCC also undertakes overseas projects in countries like Maldives, Mauritius, Nepal, Botswana, etc. This slide shows the CPWD versus NBCC at a glance. Both are vital to India's public infrastructure ecosystem. While CPWD serves as the execution arm of the central government, NBCC brings commercial agility and project innovation through its public sector unit module. This figure shows the India's first plant that recycles construction waste. In collaboration with Municipal Corporation of Delhi, INFS Environmental Infrastructure and Services Limited has developed a pilot project to demonstrate the potential benefit of increasing the recycling rate for construction and demolition waste in Delhi. The project itself has been set up on public-private partnership basis, which has proved successful and served the dual purpose of saving landfill space on the one hand and also developing the market for this waste for recyclables. Now, Environment, Construction and Demolition Waste Management Rule 2025, which was recently published on 1st April 2026. Recently published and will come into effect from 1 April 2026. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has recently notified the Environment, Construction and Demolition Waste Management Rule 2025. These rules have come to effect from 2025, aim to address the growing issue of construction and demolition waste in India. The new rules and regulation enacted in exercise of power conferred by Section 6, 8 and 25 of Environment Protection Act 1986, read with sub-rule of Rule 5 of EP Act 1986, is built upon Construction and Demolition Waste Management Rule 2016 and introduce several significant changes in addition to improve waste management practices in the construction sector. The key features of these rules are Extended Producer Responsibility EPR. One of the most notable changes is introduction of EPR for producers. Producer defined as waste generators registered on the portal for building a building complex project with a build-up area of 20,000 square meters and above are now obligated to manage construction and demolition waste throughout its life cycle. This includes recycling and reusing waste material with a specific target for waste utilization in future construction projects. Next is waste management plans. Producers are required to prepare and submit waste management plans to Central Pollution Control Board. These plans must detail the expected amount of waste to be generated and outline measures for its collection, segregation and recycling. Next is recycling target. The rule mandates that a certain percentage of construction material must be derived from recycled waste. For instance, starting from 2026 to 27, at least 5% of material used in construction must be recycled, increasing to 25% by 2030-31. Next is registration and monitoring. Producer must register online portal developed by CPCB. The portal will facilitate the submission of waste management plans and the tracking of compliance with Extended Producer Responsibility EPR obligations. The CPCB and State Pollution Control Boards will monitor the implementation of this rule. And next is utilization framework. The rule establishes a framework for utilization of processed waste in construction activities. This includes the mandatory registration of recyclers and use of online portal to manage waste utilization. Implication and benefits. The new rules are expected to have a significant impact on the construction sector and the environment by mandating the recycling and use of construction and demolition waste. The rule aims to reduce the reliance on virgin material, thereby conserving natural resources and reducing environmental degradation. Additionally, the rules are expected to minimize illegal dumping of construction and demolition waste, which have been a major contributor to urban flooding and pollution. The introduction of EPR, Extended Polluter Responsibility, is also expected to encourage more sustainable practices in the construction industry. By holding producers accountable for the waste generation from their projects, the rules incentivize the adoption of circular economy principle. This is not only reduces waste but also promote innovation in waste management and recycling technologies. Challenges and way forward. While the new rule represents a significant step forward in managing construction and demolition waste, their successful implementation will depend on several factors. One of the key challenges will be ensuring compliance, particularly among small producers and waste generators. Another challenge will be the need for investment in waste processing and recycling infrastructure. The effective implementation of the rule will require the development of facilities capable of processing and recycling large amount of waste. This will necessitate collaboration between the government, private sector and local communities to develop the necessary infrastructure capacity. The CPCB and SPCBs will need to develop robust monitoring and enforcement mechanism to ensure that the rules are followed. So at last, the conclusion of this guideline is the Environment, Construction and Demolition Waste Management Rule 2025 represents a significant advancement in India's effort to manage this waste. By introducing EPR and mandating recycling and reuse, the rule aims to promote sustainable practices in the construction sector and reduce the environmental impact from this waste. While challenges remain, the successful implementation of these rules have the potential to significantly improve waste management practices and contribute to the more sustainable future. These are the references which were used in this lecture, and some of these you can follow for further reading. So now this is the end of week 2 and lecture 5, and from this the construction demolition waste rule guideline has been finished. From next I will go for the waste management plan. Thank you.